Hey, good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, May 18th. My name is Alan, and I want to welcome you to my Spiritual Growth Through Recovery podcast. Purpose of these videos is to grow my spirituality by following the AA program of recovery, and I do that by being honest, vulnerable, and accountable, which is why I make the videos. I'm no expert in AA or spirituality or recovery. I'm just sharing my experience to try to live life on life's terms. So the recipe we follow is we read a daily reading out of the AA Daily Reflections book. There's a link in the description if you'd like to follow along. I'll always share my take on it. This video is the latest one. I've never been this late on a video because I've been wanting to avoid this topic. So I'm just going to get through it, and it may not be good. All right. So the topic for today is going to be freedom to be me and emotional pain. So let's get busy. May 18th. All right, freedom to be me. If we are painstaking about this phase of our development, we will be amazed before we are halfway through. We are going to know a new freedom and a new happiness. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 83. My first true freedom is the freedom not to have to take a drink today. If I truly want it, I will work the 12 steps, and the happiness of this freedom will come to me through the steps, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. Our freedoms will follow, and inventorying them is a new happiness. I had a new freedom today, the freedom to be me. I have the freedom to be the best me I have ever been. Already triggered. I've read this before and I'm already triggered. Yeah. Yeah, this is an emotional one today. So it talks about if we're painstaking about this phase of our development, we'll be amazed before we're halfway through. So what does painstaking mean? It means to be diligent and with a lot of effort. Done with employing great care and thoroughness. It talks about how half measures availed us nothing. The line that kind of got me here was, if I truly want it, I will work the 12 steps and the happiness will come to me through the steps. I don't know if I want it. This emotional pain, this stuff that I'm feeling, I can't do it. I won't do it. I won't take the steps because I don't want to feel this. Because I'm not working the program to the best of my ability. Yeah. The word this word kind of talks about promises. So, so the first gift that this program can give us is the desire to be sober. I have the desire, but not as much as the desire to avoid this, whatever I'm feeling. And it's kicking my ass. It really is. Do I really want it? Do I really want it? I do, but it's when the pain of change, the pain of trying to face this emotional pain is greater than the pain I'm getting from using. And that's just where I'm at, and it sucks. It kind of sucks right now. I kind of realize that most of my sharing is on hard, negative, painful things. There's no hope, there's no joy, because I'm not willing to face this stuff. So, yeah, kind of where I'm at. It talks about how, before, our freedoms will follow. Freedom to be me and have a new happiness. Earlier when I was younger, I didn't feel it was okay to be me, and once I started drinking, I didn't care anymore. It was this wonderful freedom. So at first it was a freedom to be me, and then the drinking and drugs made it to where I ran from me. So it was this weird, end of the spectrum there. If you like listening to speakers, there's a speaker on YouTube that is Bob D. I think it's Surrender maybe, I couldn't find it. But he talks about when he started drinking, he could come out and play. And I can really relate to that because when I'm not using, I'm so caught up in how I'm feeling and what I'm thinking that I can't break free of that. So when I use, I could be me. So the next week's gonna suck because I do not want to talk about this stuff at all, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go through it. So as I just go through this journey, if anything kind of triggers me, I make a list of additional topics. Things that it's like, that would be a good topic to talk about. And I'm going to be talking about emotional pain. And Monday's going to be why I feel unlovable. And then I'm going to talk about emotional neglect trauma. It's a lot of heavy shit. And it makes me really sad. It makes me want to cry when I think about this stuff. So what is emotional pain? It's this unpleasant feeling of suffering on a psychological and non-physical origin, right? When we experience difficult emotions, that's the emotional pain. A person may experience emotional distress due to various factors, including grief, loss, trauma. Something's going on. It's like we get this emotional response that sucks. It's really uncomfortable. unless we deal with those, it makes us, it dictates our actions. And I am absolutely fucked up, man. Jesus Christ. The whole purpose of emotional pain is to let us know that something's going on, right? So when we have physical pain, it's because there's something there's some red flag, so that this pain is really good at disrupting and getting our attention. Hey, there's something going on here. What I do is I run or numb it instead of give it the attention it deserves, and it manifests itself in many ways. So some of the symptoms for this stuff, it could be feeling very overwhelmed, helpless or hopeless, feeling guilty for unknown reason, spend a lot of time worrying, having a difficult time thinking or remembering because I'm so caught up with dealing with how I feel that I lose track, sleeping too much or too little, and I do those polar opposites, changes in appetite, relying more heavily on mood-altering substance. Even when I'm not using, there's other things that I rely on. I'm not willing to lean into that. And then isolating from people or activities, and I'm great at isolating. When I use, I'm more social, but when I get sober, initially, it's too uncomfortable to want to deal with people. So what are the causes of this stuff? I think one of it is the cognitive dissonance, where our actions don't align with our values. That's an indicator, right? Something's going on. Somebody hurt us physically or with words. We could lose a loved one. And then we're going to talk about emotional needs. And like I said, I'm no expert on this, so I'm just learning it, and we'll see where it goes. If our emotional needs aren't met, then we try to cope in some way to fill that void or deal with it. To have safe, secure relationships with loved ones. To feel it's okay to make mistakes and be imperfect. Didn't have that. To say how we feel and what we need. Didn't have that. To have loving discipline and structure that isn't a mean tone. Didn't have that. To feel free to be joyful, spontaneous, and creative. Maybe a little bit, but I was always judged off it. The need for love, autonomy, affiliation, need to avoid harm, shame, or embarrassment. I was harmed, I was shamed, I was embarrassed. So why do we refuse to make these necessary changes? I think pain releases endorphins and other chemicals, and we can kind of experience a high off it. But also it's like the devil you know is worse than the devil you don't know. So even though this sucks, I know it. I just can't face this. So how do we overcome it? And obviously I haven't, so this is what I'm finding as research. To lean into that feeling, to identify what am I really feeling, and acknowledge it. There's a book called Untethered Soul where he talks about when thoughts and feelings go through, if we cling on to them or block them out, then they own us. But if we just let them flow through, which I kind of get a little bit, it helps me to write or share my feelings, helps to doing these videos. It's the main benefit of these videos. Make the changes. Either we stop the behaviors and the relationships. We need to forgive ourselves and the other person. And then, if we need some professional help, and that's what I'm going to do. And I'm literally going to counseling in 20 minutes and talk about this shit because I hate it. It's winning. So anyway, that's all I got for today because I'm going to cry. So anyway, it was late, but whatever, I'm doing it. I'm doing the work. So anyway, hope you're having a good day, and I want to encourage you to whatever you feel, lean into it and try to face it. Get some help if you need to, and be another video tomorrow. So until then, peace out.